What's up, YouTube? MetaZooDrew here, back with another video. And it's been about a week since I posted my Uncut Sample Sheet video, where I basically discuss how I discovered MetaZoo, how I won this amazing prize, and what I had to go through to get it. And it actually caught the attention of King Pokemon himself. He reached out to me via DMs on Instagram and he said, "Hey Drew, I watched your video and I loved it." And he actually owns one of these sheets himself. So he wanted to jump onto a Zoom call with me and discuss how amazing it is to have this, and he gave me a little backstory on MetaZoo too. There's actually some interesting information in there, and something about his sheet that's different than mine. So we kind of go into the importance of it, the possible value of it, and so much more, and he actually goes into a little bit on the future of MetaZoo as well. So if you stick around for the whole thing, you're gonna get some really interesting information. It's a great conversation we had, so let's jump right into it.
You're King Pokemon, you're also King MetaZoo, but to some people you're Gary. Is it okay if I call you Gary?
Oh yeah, please do.
Okay,
yes.
So
yes.
All right, so
yeah, I've been King Pokemon for 20 years.
Wow.
But then when I'm actually pretty new to social media.
Okay.
So I just started Instagram like a year and a half ago or something like that.
Okay.
And I put in King Pokemon and it was taken. so I had seen other people use real King Pokemon. So then I went in under real King Pokemon.
Because you were the real King Pokemon.
Well, I don't know, I guess. and then what I did with on YouTube, I put in King Pokemon and it was good. I was able to use that.
Okay.
So,
well, that's great, because I mean that's what most people kind of know you by now anyway. So it works out. So you know how to find you.
And then when I fell in love with MetaZoo, I went for yeah, right. I went for real King MetaZoo. But that was taken for some reason. And so there I got King MetaZoo.
Okay. But at least you got something, you didn't have to add some crazy numbers at the end or something, like sometimes you got
that's true. Yeah. And it's funny, I was checking license plates here in Nevada.
Really?
And I just found out MetaZoo hasn't been taken yet. so I'm gonna mess with that tomorrow.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
That's fun. Does Mike know that?
Yeah. Oh, well, I talked Mike into moving here to Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So he's my neighbor now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I told him, I said, if you want it, you can have it. and he said, no, go ahead.
He'll get MetaZoo 1 or, add a number.
It was I think he goes by MetaZoo Dev, my son.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. I've actually talked to him before on Instagram before. So.
Oh, great. Yeah. He's a good kid. Well, he's 29 now, but.
Oh, we're the same age, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm also 29, so same generation.
and both of you look 18. That's great.
Yes. I've been told I have a baby face. Yeah, I got the beard going, so I don't look like like a child. I gotta kind of get a little man grizzly going on here. So
true. Well, I always had a baby face because my mom did.
Yeah, my mom does as well. She always looked young, so I guess that's where I got it from.
Right, and people are surprised. I'm almost 70. So,
wow. Honestly, I couldn't even tell. You definitely don't look 70. Being honest here.
That's good. That's that baby face thing is especially good as you get older.
Yes, I can imagine. So, as I'm pushing towards 30, I'm going to start grasping onto the baby face as much as I can. So,
right. Yes.
So speaking of, years and, your son is the same age as me. So I'm assuming you discovered trading, maybe Pokemon, for example, you discovered because of your son. I'm assuming
it was actually vice versa.
Really?
Yeah, because I was involved in the bringing of Pokemon to the United States.
Really?
Yeah, and that was in 1998 before there was an English set. It was all Japanese.
That's incredible.
I was involved in bringing the Japanese promos, the CD promos, getting them graded and selling them on Home Shopping Network.
Wow. Home Shop. Yes, I remember those as a kid. I remember seeing those, like the commercials and stuff for those.
Yeah,
imagine that Pokemon on.
It was either Shop at Home or Home Shopping. There were quite a few of them back then. And so so that was
that's really cool. I actually didn't know that.
yeah. But then when they brought the English series over, Japan cut off anybody who wasn't, a part of Media Factory in Japan.
Okay.
They cut us all off because they saw it was going to be a smash.
Wow.
And so after that, we were all left out, and then my boys got involved just like everybody your ages did.
Yeah.
And
definitely
he has
got my
a brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a brother 15 months older.
Okay.
So he's 30, but they got involved in Pokemon, and I just stayed with it, stuck with it with them. And
yeah, it's got a real good intuition about it, because look at it now, it's insane.
Jay, the oldest son, he kind of fell out of it and stayed out. He's not really involved in trading card games at all. But Devin is big time involved. He actually is like brand ambassador for MetaZoo.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, congratulations to him. That's really awesome.
He loves it.
That's an honor, honestly.
Yeah, just a couple hours ago, he got back from Seattle. We're in Las Vegas.
Okay.
He got back from Seattle where MetaZoo, was doing another convention up there.
Yes, I just saw some of the social media posts. I saw like the cool promo card. It landed on Mars now. It's all really cool. Yes. Yeah, I wish I could have gone to that, but unfortunately,
I hope Devin got me a copy.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully King MetaZoo can get a promo card. Come on, throw this guy some slack.
I think I'll get one. But
awesome. So that leads to my next question for you is, so how did you find MetaZoo? because I posted a video recently talking about my uncut sheet, and I also mentioned how I found MetaZoo, because MetaZoo actually reached out to me. I'm a big Pokemon fan as well, and I have a separate Pokemon account on Instagram, and that's how I found MetaZoo. And that's how I started to watch the streams and everything. And I bought some of the Kickstarter product. I have a Kickstarter booster box right here as my crown jewel, with the values going up and everything. So how did you find MetaZoo?
Well, first I want to say I loved your video on the uncut sheet.
Thank you.
I mean, you're and I was also just telling my wife, Twan, I said, you're going to love this guy. He is so upbeat and positive and exactly what we need in these trading card game hobbies. Because there's so much negativity.
I know, there really is. Yeah.
And yet you went through a pretty bad experience, but you kept your cool, and you kept you didn't let it get you down, but you persisted like all of us would.
I was persistent because it's something that I couldn't let something like that go. I don't think there was any bad intentions on like the MetaZoo side, and I knew that, so that's why I just kept hanging on. So eventually I got it.
I mean, I can actually justify some of those delays because I was involved in Michael Waddell and Jesse, his girl.
Yes, I met them at New York Comic Con actually.
Oh, good.
I got to thank him in person for the sheet, so it was really cool. Like a week later, it was perfect.
Oh, that is neat. Yeah. Well, I was able to convince him. He was living in Florida, then he was living in New York, and then he moved out to California.
Okay.
To house sit for his brother it was, and then I was talking to him. I guess this is, somewhere around March or February or somewhere around there.
Okay.
And I told him, listen, just for business reasons, you should move here to Las Vegas, for tax benefits and things like that.
Yeah. I have a friend that actually just moved out there, so I understand.
Yeah. They really get you in California if you have a small business.
Really? Okay.
Well, kind of like New York,
Yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, I'm from New York, so I know what it's like to pay.
They're pretty good at that too. Yeah, they're pretty good at taking that money too.
Oh yeah.
And so I was able to convince him to move up, and then let's see. I'm trying to get the timing right. The Kickstarters were just coming out.
Yeah, that was like March. That was like around the time that I started, following MetaZoo in the first place. So I hopped on right at the start,
Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, with the Kickstarter and then the subsequent first edition Cryptid Nation set.
Yes.
When those came out, he was having everything shipped to me personally.
Wow. Okay.
From China or wherever. Everything was coming directly to me.
Mhm.
And because he was, one of those excuses he gave you, was that he was moving and that. Well, that's
Yes.
absolutely true.
He was very honest with me. I respect that. I didn't, he could have just lied or, ignored me. I'm just a random guy, and he was pretty open about it. So I that's why I kind of still continued to have faith in it. I knew something wasn't,
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to mention that, because that's one of the stories I saw in your video, and I can vouch for that being 100% true.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Because it was unbelievably tough on him for a long time.
Yeah.
You saw what happened, with MetaZoo.
Oh yeah.
Just imagine if you're the one guy who's in charge of the whole thing, and all this. Look at the little things we had to deal with MetaZoo. Now multiply that by thousands, and that's what he was going through. So
yeah, I can imagine.
He definitely. I appreciate you the way you handled it, and I understand why he handled it the way he did. Now I did tell you that you could have contacted me because we're in such close proximity.
Yes.
That I could have expedited that for you.
I guess it's something I didn't realize that was kind of like an option. You know what I mean?
I guess sure, I understand.
All the communication was between him, and I knew this was something that wasn't going to get shipped to me from like a distributor. This was like a personal item that had to be like walked to the post office. Right. So I guess I didn't. If I knew that, I would have went right to, and then I would have been harassing you instead of Mike.
And I would have got it right over there. But he can only do so much, and he was getting pulled in so many directions that it was understandable. It really was. But the way you reacted to it, you could have been, a lot of these, negative Nancy's and Debbie Downers. A lot of these guys, they would have been putting up videos, MetaZoo scam, and they would have been doing that. And like most of those people, they would have ended up with Gabork or nothing.
Of course, that's kind of common sense. You don't bite the hand that feeds. You're not gonna be mean to somebody that is going to do something very nice for me. He didn't have to give this sheet away. I was just a spectator like everyone else on that giveaway on that Twitch stream, and then I just kind of felt like it was deserved, or I felt like it was promised to me. But I didn't hold it against him like it was like, you owe me money, man. I'm coming after you. I never felt that way about it. So and the best part is I did end up getting it. So my story has a happy ending. We all love happy endings. So that's
well, when did you know I had one?
So I actually had a friend. I think you did a live stream, I think, on Instagram, and a friend of mine sent me your live stream. It was like, hey, check this out. I think King Pokemon has your sheet. Because at the time, I didn't even know there was more than one of them. I assumed it was just one of a kind.
Was that before or after you got your sheet?
This was before I got my sheet. So,
okay.
So this was definitely before. I don't. Maybe it was over the summer. I don't remember when you actually you posted something about it. I don't know when you physically got it.
I think I got it in March, and I might have posted soon after.
Yeah, you did like a little, kind of like what I did in my video, a little expose. You were showing it off and stuff. And I was just watching it and I was like, he has my sheet, I was like, he has my sheet. So I was like, I have to say something to Mike. I have to at least see, did he give my sheet to King Pokemon? Did he give it to Gary, So I messaged Mike and I was like, hey man, I don't want to sound like a jerk or something, but did you give my sheet to King Pokemon? And he immediately was like, no, I think he told, I don't remember the exact number, but he told me there's a couple of them. And he said he's like, I have yours. It is yours. I swear on my life, it's yours. And I was just like, all right, no, I just, it was just kind of like something that came up and, while waiting for it and some, the little bit of overthinking happened. And I was just like, wow, he gave it to somebody more, I guess, worthy than me. That's kind of what I was thinking at the time. And he cleared that up real quick, though. He's not the type of person, that left me hanging or anything. He kind of right away was like, no, I swear. So that cleared that up real fast. But that definitely.
Once you get to know him, or once you would have gotten to know him,
yeah,
you'd realize that there's no way in the world he would do anything like that. But yeah, I would wonder the same thing. I'm waiting months for it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden another guy, starts doing videos on it. And
yeah.
what the
Yeah, that's kind of like my first reaction to it. I was jealous. I was like, oh my God, like I want to be you right now holding this, and showing it off.
I wish you would have messaged me then.
I know. Honestly, I don't know why. I guess I didn't want to sound, I don't know, like ungrateful, because again, this is still, I'm extremely grateful for having this, and I just didn't want to shake the bee's nest. I don't want to be annoying or, harass him, even though I kind of had to a little bit, but I didn't want him to be like, you know what, I'm not giving it to you now because you're a jerk. So I kind of tried to keep it real for as long as I could, because I did end up getting it. So that's the best part.
And one of the funny things, I know there's a few things that we're going to discuss about the sheet.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to get into a little of that now, but do you want to talk a little bit about the sheets, what I know?
Absolutely. I actually have my sheet. I haven't put it back into storage yet, but I have mine right here. Oh, we got 2 sheets on one screen. This is history right here.
That's the first. That is a first.
So I see you got yours framed as well. It looks a lot fancier than my.
Yeah, I took mine to Monster Framing here in Las Vegas.
Monster Framing, okay.
They're unbelievable, but they charge an arm and a leg too. but I wanted to get the proper museum quality glass.
Absolutely, this is a museum quality item for sure.
Because I want to hang it and look at it forever if I can.
Yeah.
And but the funny thing about it, you and I take care of it like it's, a gold treasure, right?
Really? For real?
Well, what Michael was doing with them, he had them all rolled up together in his backpack.
What?
Well, because they weren't worth anything back then.
I get, I mean, that goes for the samples too. The individual samples, he was just giving them away to people, in those streams. I think I remember hearing somewhere he was like, he couldn't even give them away. He was trying to, and nobody wanted them. So it's so crazy to think about it now. We can laugh about it, but it's incredible, So
true. But like you already know, the sheets came before the sample cards. Just like probably the chicken came before the egg.
Exactly. Sure. It is the sample of the samples, essentially.
Yes,
exactly.
Right. But you're right. He did give away a whole bunch of samples.
Yeah.
But these he had so few of, and that's one of the things we'll discuss. What I know about how many there are and
yes.
that.
Yeah. I was actually going to ask that next.
Yeah, so. We'll discuss that. During this, but for back then, again, they didn't mean anything, and he just stuffed them in his backpack. So.
That's amazing. I think that's. I can just picture him with his little MetaZoo backpack, just full of shiny rolled up. Oh my God, that's insane. Right. But there's also the non-hollow uncut sheets too. Like
I have that.
So that I was gonna say next. So you have both of them. I think was it only 2, right? There wasn't like another one, a different sheet or.
Right. There was only 2. There was 46 hollows and 50 non-hollows.
Okay. Yes.
But now I'm collecting the sample set too, and I have all 50 non-hollows.
Okay, that's amazing.
I only have 22 of the 46 hollows.
Wow, that's incredible.
But I have the good ones.
Yes, of course. Yeah, like the big ones, like Mothman. Yeah, Chaos.
But the other ones are so expensive. Like I know. Like we all know.
That was another part of why I was becoming more and more anxious to get this sheet, was seeing the values of the individual samples. I was kind of going like, people look at my one Mothman. I was just like, I technically should have an entire sheet of these. So it's like, I just couldn't wait to get it because of that, because how sought after even the individual samples are now. I actually had one person, of course, when I got this, I had my inbox was flooded with people wondering how I got it. That's why I made the video in the first place. But of course I had people, they want it from me, and I'm sure people just like your Charizards, Logan Paul, Leonhardt, they all calling you for your Charizards and stuff like that. I have people coming after my sheet now. And I had somebody try to tell me that one individual, like they were like, I'll give you my PSA 8 sample Mothman for your sheet. And I was like, that is not a fair trade at all. What are you insane? And they're like, oh, it's different. Sheets aren't like the same as individual cards. They're not, you can't get them graded. You can't. And I'm like, I don't know about that. Like I think these sheets are very special in their own way,
Well, in some cases he's right. with some series, like with old sports cards.
Absolutely,
the sheets aren't worth much.
Oh, really? Okay.
But now go back to Pokemon, a first edition base sheet.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Cute. I don't know if I know of more than 5 or 6 people that have one.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe up to 10. It could be. But as far as I know, and of course, in 22 years, I paid attention to stuff like that.
Of course.
And so, but in our case, like with that Pokemon sheet or with this MetaZoo sheet, I believe that it's worth a lot more than the sum of its parts.
Definitely.
So,
just in its scarcity, exactly. It's scarcity alone. I mean, I think what are the samples? There's about 100 each or something floating around.
Yes.
And the sheets. I think I remember Mike told me there was like 12. I think, but I don't know if that's I don't remember. It was like old message. Like I don't know if you know the exact number of sheets. I know like versus hollow versus non-hollow. Like, do you happen to know that or?
Yeah. Well, I know. I don't know of anybody else who has a non-hollow sheet.
I know one of them was given away in another stream that I was in. I don't remember, I think I said in my video, I think they're being private about it. They're not like, posting it to the world, like, come get me, I have this sheet. But I know one person has one. I just don't know who they are. So
right.
There's at least one in the wild,
Whoops.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. Real fast.
Definitely. Yeah, with the black border on it. Yeah. Interesting. So it looks like versus the hollow sheet that I'm used to in front of me, it's kind of like a white. It's like a white background. I see.
Right.
Very cool. Very cool.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, you can say, I'm proud to say that I have something on the caliber of King Pokemon, but you can say that you have both sheets. So I'll give you that one. So
one thing you asked earlier was, where did I get it?
Yes.
Or how did I get it? And and you see there again, I was, I talked to Michael a lot, before he was able to get started.
Yes.
And he knows that I'm a sheet collector. I collect sheets, Pokemon sheets, sports sheets.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that was actually another question I was going to ask you is if you have other sheets from Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, I played Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid. It was Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering. You have any Magic the Gathering sheets or is it just?
I don't have any Magic the Gathering sheets, but I do have almost all the sets for the first 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Offering data.
Yeah, that's amazing. So that's good. That's good to have just in itself. But
yeah.
Wow. You have Pokemon sheets. What Pokemon sheets do you have?
I have
Are you one of the people that has a base set one or?
Yeah, I have a base set one.
Wow.
I have a shadowless one. I have a
wow.
I have the unlimited. I have the common sheet, the uncommon. I have just about all of those. But I got them many years ago. When you could still afford them.
So you didn't get them from like a giveaway or from like some kind of like you knew someone that worked for like Wizards of the Coast or something like you purchased them.
I purchased them, 20 years ago. Yeah.
20 years ago, if they were probably,
when one came up, I just bought them. And I mean, I've worked hard my whole life. So fortunately, I could afford to hang on to stuff.
Definitely.
And so that's why I got, just like my Charizards, the only reason I still have them is because I could afford to have them.
Yeah.
Because the prices slowly went up over all these years and I never sold them because I didn't have to. And if I would have had them to feed MetaZoo Dev or somebody, one of the kids, then of course I would have done whatever it takes.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if there's a lot of people out there that are, trying to keep up with these hobbies and stuff. And in myself, in this world, the state of the world right now, if you can't afford to keep buying these cards, make sure you're prioritizing your money spending. Feed your family, feed yourself, pay your bills. That's more important. So
right. So with the MetaZoo sheets, I just, Michael is a collector too. He loves Magic and I
can imagine that's how he started MetaZoo.
Pokemon and everything else. He loves all that. And so we just maneuvered stuff back and forth and I ended up with the sheets because because he knew I was a sheet collector.
Yeah.
But he did let me know how rare they were. And do you want to talk about the Rarity right now?
Sure.
Okay, well, I can tell you that out in the wild, there is only you, me, and Steve Aoki has one.
Steve Aoki has one. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the three of us.
And then the rest of them are in a MetaZoo vault buried under the ground somewhere in the desert, probably.
I don't know. Michael doesn't have very many.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I know he has one.
Okay.
That he still has, and I kind of wish he would put that up on auction, like on Sotheby's or something. So then we could kind of value ours.
Yes.
Get an idea.
I remember I surveyed some of my followers on Instagram, like, what do you think this is worth? And I was getting, crazy numbers. Some people were like, oh, it's only worth $1,000. And then another person was like, it's $1 million. You don't really know, because
right.
To have something like this, it's like, it's very overwhelming, just to try to gauge what it's worth, because you have an incredible collection to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
So, for you to have this, it's just like, it just completes your King MetaZoo moniker, For me, I'm just some random guy, I'm just a collector out there. I loved Pokemon as a kid, and I got back into it in the last 5 years, and now I suddenly have the holy grail of MetaZoo sitting in my lap, and it's kind of like,
I know.
Wow,
how great does that feel?
Oh, it feels amazing. It's amazing.
You can tell the world, you,
Yes.
Gary, and Steve. That's a pretty exclusive club.
Oh yeah, I know.
So I mean, all those months ago when you won that little drawing,
yeah,
that has turned into a monstrous event.
It has. I made a whole video. I had to,
and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
I can only imagine. I know.
That's why if somebody offered you 100,000 for it, I mean, I wouldn't even. If I needed the money, I wouldn't take that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's seriously the way I feel.
Yeah.
But now if Michael puts one up like on Sotheby's or something, that's going to be really interesting to watch. And,
yeah. I mean, I know they just did the other night. I don't know if you were aware of it, but I think Mike messaged me recently and told me that he was trying to get more uncut sheets into collectors' hands. So it's not just, it's not just me, you, and Steve, it's like some other people can maybe get some first edition sheets and stuff like that. And I think they auctioned a couple off and Whatnot. I think it was maybe over the weekend. I think it was like a reverse sheet and like an aura sheet or something like that. So I guess that is something that I guess he wants to start getting out there too, just so it's a thing, it's like uncut sheets are like another niche in this collector market,
Right, and they're certainly going to be very limited. Not as limited as our sheets.
Yeah, I know.
But pretty limited.
Absolutely, it's a special club that we're in, I guess now.
Right. Yeah, one of the guys that won one of those sheets, one of those MetaZoo sheets this week.
Yeah.
He messaged me to ask me about my. I have top loaders they're giant top loaders that you put posters.
I actually looked that up when I got mine, because when I first got mine, I took it out of the tube and I was just like, I'm afraid to touch this thing. I have to put it in something. So
yes.
I was looking that up, and they actually, you're right. They make giant top loaders for these, for posters, or I guess maybe giant collectible sheets like this. So
right. Probably the best thing is to do a quality framing.
Yes.
But beyond that, doing a top loader temporarily is definitely better than keeping it rolled.
It was rolled up in a tube, and I was like, I'm not re-rolling this back up. I wanted it to be flat. There was no creases in it, thank God. But I was like, oh my God,
right.
It was crazy. Like finding a treasure map, unrolling it. I was just like, it was glowing in my face. I was like, oh my God.
I'll bet there's something different about mine than there is about yours, though. I know I talked to you earlier.
Yes, you said
I told you I was going to tell you some things that are going to be interesting to you.
Yes. So
now, whether it's good, I mean, whether it's better or worse, that I don't know. I don't know how. I can't figure that out. But I'm going to let you know what I think is one of the differences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As far as you know, is there any anomalies at all on the face of your sheet?
Let's take a look. So by anomaly, do you mean
any lines going through it?
Like print lines, you mean?
Yeah, that might look like a print line.
Yeah, none that I can see.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Okay.
Yours has
Well,
a okay.
let me show you what mine has.
Let's see.
1 second. Gotta find it. Oh, okay. Now it only affects the Indrid Cold, the Hopkinsville Goblin, Hodag, Headless
Okay,
Horseman.
so like
the one
like
that one row.
this line right here, like straight across.
Yes. Well, I don't know
Yeah.
how well you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to pull this camera off.
All right. Yeah. Let's take a look.
Just see if there's.
Mine definitely does not have one. So.
Oh wait, it's Oh, that's funny. This camera's not. I guess I'm going off the camera from the computer.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
that's actually what I'm using right now on my Mac computer.
Right. Well, I can tell you this, that there is a print line that starts from off the sheet.
Okay.
Goes all the way across here through the foil square, all the way.
So kind of split down the middle in the sheet.
And then off the sheet again. So
wow.
It goes all the way from off the sheet, all the way through to off the sheet. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
And if you look at the little stars in the foil, you can see that the stars don't line up. You know, if you look at your stars,
I'm taking a look at mine now. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see on my camera too, but
yeah. Well, these don't. This is a different foil sheet. That's one ran out.
Really?
And one started.
That's what causes the print lines. Is it overlaps kind of?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't think I could call this a print line. It's all on the foil.
Yeah.
It's not on the black. It's not on the side of the card.
Interesting.
It's just on the foil part, but goes all the way across. But if you look at the little foil stars,
yes,
you'll see they stop halfway through the star.
The pattern doesn't complete on the other side.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So what that means is that the foil sheet ran out here, and then the next foil sheet began again here, just above it. And that's what caused that line all the way through it.
Interesting. Is that what causes print lines in general on like trading cards?
So. No, I don't think so. I'd be interested to find out, but
yeah, well, I know they exist. I never thought about what caused them.
Yeah, at first I thought it was just a print line.
Yeah,
like you thought.
Mm-hmm.
But then I noticed it doesn't like that. It's a different foil sheet, and then I realized, well, one sheet ended, one began.
Yes,
because the stars weren't
cut off. Yeah, I totally understand. That's insane. So you even got a more special one than I have.
Well, I don't know about that. You can see what I mean. Whether that's better or worse is really hard to say. It's in fact, for some people it might be worse and some people might be better.
Well, you know, there are collectors out there that love like misprinted and miscut cards. You know, they're like, you know, with the foil overlapping or just cut strangely like a triangle. I've seen insane stuff out there, you know, so
right.
So it makes it more unique. Absolutely, it makes it more unique. I mean, you could call that a defect on it, I guess, but at the same time,
or an error.
Yeah, an error.
Not even an error. It's just part of the process, you know.
It's just the machine, you know, pumping out the sheets.
Yeah, it makes sense when you're going through a roll of foil and it stops, then you got to put another one on. That's going to start.
And it just picks up where the other one left off.
Yeah, just part of the process. But is it, in my honest opinion, I would probably rather have it without that if I had my choice.
That's understandable.
But then again, it's I know it's kind of cool to say, well, it has this air or whatever.
Yeah.
But then again, it is a line going through the whole thing. And, you know, if God forbid somebody were to cut them all up.
I was just going to say, you get a scissor out and
they immediately get docked and grade. So,
yes.
But now, fortunately, it doesn't affect the Chaos Crystal or the Wendigo or the Wendigo's on
the big ones, yeah.
Or the Mothman. They're on a different place on there, so it doesn't affect those. But it did affect Headless Horseman and
Injured Cold.
Yeah, right. So anyway, I thought you would find that interesting.
No, that's insane. That's very cool. Like, considering there's only like, I mean, potentially a handful of these sheets in existence.
Right.
One of them happened to have that error. Because think about how many of these were printed out, and the odds of that happening were probably very slim. So for a collector, that could be the holy grail. It could be the most unique one. So I'd say that's pretty cool to have that.
Yeah, at the very least, I mean, at the very least, I would say they're comparable.
Yeah.
But would I prefer to have one without that?
Yeah.
Besides the story, which is kind of cool, I would probably prefer to have one without it.
Mm-hmm.
But but I don't know. Maybe Michael will.
We'll swap one out for you.
Send me a message and tell me, well, Gary, if you want to trade, I'll trade you mine.
Yeah,
that would be something. Trading uncut sample sheets of MetaZoo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That would be crazy.
He might ask for it with interest. He might be like, "Let me get that non-hollow one with it too. Let me get one of those Pokemon ones."
Right. Yes.
That's funny though. That's actually very cool. When you said you knew something. There was something going on with the sheet that I might not picked up on. I was personally before this chat, I was looking at mine, like there's all the numbers. I'm like, is there a special number? Is there a secret code on here somewhere that says like MetaZoo rules or something? Like, is it hidden in there somewhere, like an Easter egg? But I see a print line, so or whatever it is, it's the foil roll running out and refilling. Yeah. I've actually, opening the cards, I've seen some cards that had like a print line on the in the middle or on the top that kind of had, like you said, the foil pattern kind of looks like it like glitches and kind of starts over. So maybe that's a result of whatever happens with the foil, but you just happen to have a whole sheet of it. So that just makes it much more interesting.
I have 22 of the foil samples. I got to look at those closer to see if any of mine have that. I haven't.
Maybe it was like, maybe you have the only one of the samples that had that happen to.
Yeah, maybe
none
so.
of even the cut ones, like.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, but I thought that'd be fun. Fun to tell you about.
Definitely.
And of course, I know you have looked closely at the wording and everything, and to see the differences.
Yes. It seems like some like it kind of repeated a few times on the sheet. There's on the top where it tells you like the type of beastie and the attacks. It looked like the ink kind of just, I don't know, maybe it was like it just kept repeating over and over before they could stop it, or I'm not really sure. It was like some kind of a editing issue. They didn't notice it and they just kind of said, go for it, print it. And some attacks had the O over here and stuff. So I'm sure that was just, starting your own card game, you're going to make some mistakes. So
well, true. And you're going to make some adjustments as his play testers play.
Oh yeah, and of course those changes, of course, too. That I tried to explain that.
But there again, that's all part of the game. Part of the startup.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's especially cool to discuss it in that. Because it is just part of what happens.
It's literally it's a piece of history. It's really cool to see where it came from, like that's why I wanted to compare it to the cards people are familiar with, because it is crazy to see that not only, the borders are black, that's the first thing people notice, but then you actually read the card and you're like, this changed a lot, a lot of like heart and soul had to go into this to kind of make it balanced so people could actually play this game, because that is part of MetaZoo, is playing the game,
Mothman was huge differences.
Yes.
You've probably seen.
And also the Injured Cold card as well. I think people were a little upset that he looked like Giovanni from Pokemon. So they kind of went back to the drawing board, and I think Poncho, the artist, kind of made him look more like the spookier, like Injured Cold, like drawings that I've seen. I Googled it, so it got a little Injured Cold background. And I think it looks better on the new card, but it's cool to go back and see on the sample what, like, that'll never be printed again. So like, unless you have the sample of Injured Cold, like that artwork is 100% unique. So I think that's one of the most special ones on the sheet. So that actually,
and only 100 of them,
exactly,
a touch over 100 made. That's it.
Yeah, it's incredible. And that actually leads to my next question for you: is what is your favorite card on the sample sheet? If you had to pick one, you know,
on the sample sheet.
yeah, on the hollow sample sheet.
You know, I have to say it's I know it's so everybody Mothman, but to me, and I'm going to tell you why. In fact, I'm going to show you why.
Okay. All right. Guess you got a treasure chest right there.
I am such an incorrigible collector. And especially when I find something that I love, like MetaZoo. Yes. I haven't been this much in love with anything since, well, don't let Twan hear this. But since Pokemon.
Yeah, so, I 100% agree with you. You know, Pokemon is, you know, since I was a kid, played the games, collected the cards, and now as an adult, I'm doing it all over again. But now MetaZoo just really hit the nail, you know, and I think it made me remember why I loved Pokemon. So it's really cool to kind of relive that again, you know. So I'm sure most
we like, you know, Dragon Ball and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, I grew up with that as well, of course.
But nothing like Pokemon or now MetaZoo.
Yeah, exactly. So, hopefully we'll see MetaZoo as, you know, a top competitor of Pokemon, you know, because I think they absolutely have the potential. It's incredible how fast it's grown. It's blown my mind, you know, because like I said, I found it right before it blew up. So I was just kind of like, what happened, you know?
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, here's the story. Last year, I got involved in the Kickstarter, you know, just because I like to, you know, support people's efforts and things. It was nothing, you know, it was nothing at the time. Mm-hmm. But then Michael sent me a little package of 10 cello packs that had some cards inside. Had five cards inside of each one.
Like little clear sample packs. I think I've seen those before.
Yeah. Little clear cello packs with sample cards clear that you can see through with cards.
You can kind of cheat and see what's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, you can scoot them over and stuff like that.
Okay.
But when I got them, you know, again, you got to remember that no one had ever even heard of them before. So I got those, and I do like to keep things sealed, and so I could see the, you know, the outside card on them.
Oh yeah, I could. Okay.
You know, stuff like that. You know, I could see the non-hollow cards on the outside, and then you couldn't see what was inside of them.
Yeah.
But 1 second.
Yeah.
But so I kept them sealed, put them in a box, and basically forgot about them, you know, and just paid attention to when what was happening with MetaZoo, with Michael.
Yeah.
And then about 6 months later, he messaged me, and he said, you know, Gary, whatever happened to those sample packs, those 10 sample packs I sent you last year?
Yeah.
And I said, I didn't remember them. You know, when you get to be my age, you do forget stuff sometimes.
Just like a business card or something, you just put it away. Like
Right. Yes. And I said, no, I don't remember that. He said, oh, for sure, I did. You know, I sent them to you. He said, you don't know where they are? I said, no idea if I even have any like that. Okay. So he said, well, listen, go check around your, you know, the stuff where you would put random things, random boxes and that.
Yeah.
And so I went to one of my storage lockers, and I remembered him saying that. And so I was looking through a few random boxes, and I found them.
Okay.
And there were 10 cello packs with one hollow inside of each pack.
Wow.
And 4 non-hollows inside of each pack.
So it's like a little 5-card like trial pack kind of, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
And now somebody else who has one, Rusty from TCA Gaming.
Yes, I follow him. Yes.
His story was the same thing as mine. Michael actually sent them to him. He threw them in a random box, never opened them. Yeah,
because he didn't know what it was. Yeah.
No, didn't know what it was. Just threw it.
Completely understandable.
And but the good luck on my side is I ended up with 10 of the foils, and I got a lot of good ones.
Okay.
I'll tell you right now, you can see how I shuffled them aside.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like you labeled them too, so you know what's in there. Headless Horseman. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah. So this one had Headless Horseman.
Yeah.
Hopkinsville Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Kushtaka, which hasn't come out in a set yet.
Yes, that is it's in one of the theme decks, but it's not a holographic. So that's the only holographic version of it. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was a good one. Loveland Frogman is a real.
Oh, that's one of the favorites. Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Meadowman of Alabama, Old Saybrook, Blockheads.
Ooh.
Pizza Bird.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh, is it? Paul Bunyan.
Awesome.
Jersey Devil. Jersey Devil. I got all the good ones.
Yeah, you got all the good ones. You're naming all. I mean, they're all good ones, honestly. But you're getting Mothman. There he is.
and one just happened to be the Mothman.
Yeah. Wow.
And let me.
So these little packs you've never opened. They're still completely sealed from when you first.
Right. See what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull out. I'm going to pull out the Celopack just so you can get a good look at.
Yeah. Them. Is it like similar to what the promo cards came in? Right. Yes. It's like a little plastic with a tab.
It's sealed on the front and back.
Yeah.
The cards can be shuffled. You can see the spacing here.
Yeah, you can confirm what's in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be shuffled over so you can see what.
Wow.
And so when I was building my set, the 50 non-hollows, I used these 4 in each pack to go towards that.
Okay.
And so I have a complete non-hollow sample set.
Yes.
But most of them are inside these packs. But still.
But you know you have them because they're.
Yeah,
yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So you have this set, but they're kind of like protected still. They're still sealed in in that little cellophane. Yeah.
Yeah, and I could show. Now this takes us to the story.
Yes.
That we started with. As
yes.
far as why is Mothman my favorite?
Exactly.
Well, I had already gotten interested in the MetaZoo, and Mothman, kind of from the beginning was the premium card to get.
Yeah, he's the Charizard of MetaZoo,
Right. Yeah, even back then. And so what I did was, I went through them and I was sliding them over, and I slid over this. I think that's him there. I don't know how well.
Yeah, I can actually tell by the fourth wall effects on the side that's
it's definitely that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So that's and the text is a little bit different here.
Yes.
Which you can tell also. So that is the Mothman.
Yep.
And so I was going through it, and when I saw that, I said, "Whoa, how lucky I got that it happened to be
Jackpot,
the one."
Yeah.
I happened to get the one with the Mothman.
Yes.
And so I messaged Michael back, and I told him, I said, I found them, and I said these were the guys that were inside, and he said, "Gary, you just found a Tesla." that was his reply.
Oh my God! I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's not wrong, and it's probably even more than that now.
Yeah, definitely. So since you have them, they're all sealed still. Do you ever plan on opening them and getting them graded with PSA or something, or Beckgate, or do you want to just keep them sealed because the authenticity of them coming like that? Because I know there were sample packs that I've watched some people that I'm friends with open them. They were kind of like silver or gold packs that came with the samples, and you couldn't see through them because they were like metallic. So something like that is even probably more rare than those foil packs. So
yeah, well, I'm sure these are a lot rarer. Yeah,
definitely.
He's even told me that.
I don't even know if I've ever seen those really in the wild, at least recently. So
the only one I've seen besides mine was Rusty's.
Okay.
And I asked him, we talk pretty often, and I asked him if I said, why don't you see what the hollow is inside? Because you have the top 3 cards. You scoot over the 4th.
It's like shifted over. Yeah, that's so cool.
You can see, and I was just comparing them to our hollow sheets, right?
Yes.
So I knew which one was which.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I don't really want to know right now. I don't know what he's done since then.
Yeah.
But I'm going to actually be seeing him the first week of May in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've invited him to do one of the Collecticons.
Okay.
So he'll be coming up. He'll be coming over to Charlotte. He's in the south part of the state.
Oh, so he could. Okay.
Hildebrand, I think it is Hildebrand. And so he'll be coming up for that convention, and I'm going to ask them to bring those, and maybe we can do some trading, or I want to see if he's the only other one I know with one.
Yeah, like I said, I've never really seen those.
I are talking about this. Maybe one of your listeners are gonna, let us know.
Yeah.
Because back then it wouldn't really make sense to keep them sealed because they were worth a penny. Even.
Yeah, you wanted to just see what they looked like and open them. Yeah, that's kind of what they were for. Yeah.
And look, and so, but Rusty, he had them, and so I want to see if he has a Mothman, I'll be super happy for him.
Yeah.
And really disappointed for myself.
That you don't have the only one.
But then the way Michael said these were produced, he said it's very, very possible I have the only Mothman inside.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Because he didn't do many of these.
Yeah.
He only sent them to the top influencers.
Yeah, they're like little tester packs. Yeah, that's cool.
Hoping somebody, it would influence someone to get interested, and so
that's incredible.
And that's why Mothman ended up being my favorite card, which you asked on the sheet.
Yep.
It's because how excited I was when I scooted those cards over and saw it was Mothman.
You have that memory now. That was your earliest MetaZoo memory, is realizing that you hit the jackpot with getting that Mothman.
Right.
That's
now,
awesome.
if you want to know on the non-hollow sheet.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Yeah, on the non-hollow sheet, unless I'm having a senior moment, I love the joint snake.
Joint snake, okay. Yeah, and that I think goes into, I was going to ask you what your favorite cryptid is in MetaZoo, and I think I remember hearing once that it was joint snake. So I kind of expected that, but I was going to ask you anyway.
I love joint snake, and it's my favorite cryptid by far. And,
very cool card.
And I love the reverse joint snake.
Yes, I have a Kickstarter one of those.
Of the snake have the foil. They're not connected.
I absolutely love that about the reverse hollows. How it's just isolated. It's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very special.
And real fast, I'm gonna make sure. 1 second. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't have one of those, so I can't confirm that or not.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's not on the sample.
Okay. It's definitely Encrypted Nation, though, the first edition or the Kickstarter.
Right. Yes. But to give you an idea, I don't know if you can see this painting behind me.
Yes. Beautiful.
Okay, that's a Mothman, which is Twan's favorite.
Yes.
Cryptid. And all around it is pieces of the joint snake.
Wow, you're right. I can see that now. I was looking at it. I kind of been glancing at it. That's so cool. So that artist, I guess, combined your two favorite cryptids together.
Yes. That's what he did. And let me see if
I can see all the chunks. Yeah, that's so cool. You blended it together.
And I think he did acrylic paint.
That looks amazing. Yeah, amazing job. Oh, I see the face now. Okay, I see I was looking at all the pieces, seeing where it goes. There's the face. Looks so cool. Right, almost looks like a dragon kind of too. That came out so well.
His teeth. Is that what you see?
Yes. Yeah, I was kind of looking all over it, but now I see it, and it's very cool. That was very well done.
Oh, I'm glad you can make it out. Yeah. So yeah, my favorite is definitely the joint snake, and
I think the joint snake was one of the pins that just came out. I think the pin club there was a joint snake pin. I'm assuming you got a couple of those, or
I don't have any pins yet.
Okay. But I know there's a joint snake in there, so maybe Mike did that one for you.
Right, yeah. Oh, he did a couple other things, using the joint snake, knowing that it's my favorite.
Really?
And yeah, so
that's cool.
Let me ask you, what on your hollow sheet, which is your favorite?
My favorite, my favorite cryptid, my favorite beastie is Paizo, because I think the first thing that drew me into MetaZoo was, Charizard is my favorite Pokemon, and Paizo just gave me that classic Charizard nostalgia by the orange colors and the flame coming out of his mouth. So he kind of became my favorite card in general. So seeing it on the sample sheet, that was just like the cream of the crop for me, because if I could have one sample, it would be Pfizer. So it's cool that I have it as part of my sheet. So that would be
that is really cool.
So cool. Yeah,
That's
definitely my favorite. Mothman is like my second favorite, but like
okay.
like Pfizer is just my favorite. I got the pin. I absolutely love that card.
Right. I'll tell you, with the joint snake, I couldn't pull one. I opened up several Kickstarter boxes and I couldn't open one.
Really?
I couldn't get one, a reverse.
Yeah, the reverse.
I wanted the reverse. Yeah, and I did a show in Dallas in last March, and where it was a meet and greet where a lot of people came up to introduce themselves and stuff like that to me. And I had mentioned to quite a few of them, that, because I like MetaZoo even back then.
Yeah.
And I set Michael up in a great spot near me on the stage.
Yeah.
Where he set up his MetaZoo, his first convention, and
I remember. Yeah, that feels like that was yesterday. But
but the word got around.
Yeah,
the word got around, and one of the people that were in line waiting to see me, brought a reverse Mothman
just for you. That's so awesome.
Gave it to me as a gift.
Wow, that's awesome.
I was so happy. And, but then again, I had made a couple of videos mentioning that I was so disappointed I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Mario with MetaZoo, right?
Oh yeah, of course I know Mario. Yeah.
Okay, so at that same convention last March, he came up to me. I was sitting in the lobby and he came up to me and he said, "Here you go, Gary." And he gave me 4 reverse Mothman.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry. 4 reverse joint snakes.
Okay, but to you, that's just as good.
You're right.
Might as well be Mothman. Yeah, that's amazing.
He said you may as well have a full play set, of your joint snakes.
Yeah, fill up a whole page.
And I said, well, I actually already got one, so take one back at least. And he said, no. He said, I want you to have those.
Wow, that was extremely nice of him. Wow.
Well, what an extremely nice guy he is.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he's been an enthusiast all the way from the very beginning.
Definitely.
And he's so humble, and he's considered, him and my son are good friends now, and they're considered brand ambassadors.
That's so cool. They're living the dream. They're representing something that they love, and they're having fun doing it. And that's really cool.
Absolutely, and they don't mind the traveling, because especially with MetaZoo, it seems like twice a month at least they're going somewhere,
like conventions and stuff. Yeah.
Me, I might do 6 or 7 a year because that's all I can handle. It's
it's probably a lot of stress, but
Plus Twan and I, we have our little girl, and I have to take care of her.
Of course, family comes first, like we were saying before. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I can only do so much, but they're out there all the time. And
they're probably having a great time.
They're having a great time.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I hear about it all the time from all of them. Ted, the one who, kind of coordinates the shows. And
I met him at New York Comic Con while I was waiting online. My girlfriend and I were dressed up as Team Rocket from Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
He came right up to us. I think he noticed I actually made a little hybrid costume to Comic Con where I put red eyes on my white pants to look like the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Right.
And he noticed that and came right up to me, and he was just like, "So, I see you're a fan of MetaZoo." Very nice guy. Ted was really nice. Really sweet to talk to.
And he's a little bit of an older guy, which I appreciated.
But very nice. Like that, I could have talked to him all day. He was very nice.
Although Ted, I know you're not as old as me, but a lot of it going back to their Kickstarter and all that. A lot of young people have great ideas, but they just don't have the ability to follow through with it, in that. And so many times
it's hard to.
The people you have around you, the people that Michael, with his skills, which are immense, he's a brilliant man.
I mean, if he masterminded all of this, he's a genius.
Yeah, he really is. Plus, well, the way him and I bonded first. Not that I'm a genius, because I'm
it's not. Okay. You could say you're a genius.
Yeah, right. But I was in the sciences. My education was in biological chemistry.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And he was, a physicist.
Yes.
And so that's kind of like, we kind of bonded over that.
Okay.
Where we both ended up, just, loving collectibles.
Yeah.
And then pursuing many years ago, pursuing that along with my work.
Yeah.
Which is another story. I ended up getting out of the sciences and got into casino and hotel management and stuff.
Okay.
Like that.
Oh, because you're in Vegas, so you've always been in Vegas, I guess. That's kind of been
I've been in and out. I worked and ran the Sahara Hotel in Las Vegas from 1980 to 1989.
Okay.
And then I left. I ran a resort casino in Vietnam.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Overseas. Wow.
In the 2000s.
Yeah.
And that was actually my last real job before I retired. So anyway, we kind of bonded over that idea, because he was working, I think, for Goldman Sachs, and
as a Wall Street.
Yeah, and he didn't. It wasn't his passion. I try to tell people, I've done a couple interviews recently where I really harped on that. I went to University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA.
Yes.
And my major was what my parents wanted me to do, which was, this is in the early 70s, and that was going to the sciences.
Okay.
And that's what they wanted. And back then you kind of did, what your folks wanted.
Of course. I went to school for business,
my minor was in journalism, which
Okay.
I loved. That's what I wanted to do. But I wrote for the school newspaper, and but then I realized, kind of like what Michael realized, and that was it wasn't for me. The sciences, I didn't want to spend it. So what I tell young people all the time now is, it's like an old cliche, but follow your passion.
Yep.
You're going to have to wake up every single morning for the rest of your life doing this.
Yep.
Make it something
something you want to do. Yeah, exactly.
Something you love, and something that's gonna, make it where when you get up in the morning, it's not, oh shoot, there's the alarm. It's going to be something where, God, I can't wait. And so I'm not telling people don't listen to your parents, because
of course. I mean,
I did, but it's a little easier now, I think, for your generation to, to follow your own path and to start early and things like that. But find what you're passionate about and do it. Do it for the rest of your life, because
that's definitely something I can relate to. Absolutely. Yeah,
very, very much so. Yeah. And so anyway, that was how Michael and I first, connected, and and now I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but he just texted me today saying he was, let's see, is there any reason I shouldn't say this? He's saying he's going into hibernation for about 8 months.
Wow.
To write the continuing story of MetaZoo or something.
Oh yes, the novel or the illustrated comic book that he's been writing. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to be doing that for this next 3/4 of a year, and he has a book 200, 300, 400 pages that he's written in for 5 years that's gotten him to this point. But now I love how he's looking ahead. Yeah. Now he's not only looking ahead the next 2, 3, 4 years, and he actually has a 20-year plan. So he's going to be adding to it.
Wow.
Now in this next 8 months.
50-year plan.
Yeah, right. And so
that's awesome.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with that. With people that are that devoted. Yeah. That's why I get so offended when people talk cash grab and all, because I know him and I know what he's done. Plus, him and I do a charity together. Yeah. Where we've helped a lot of people, and the money is all, we put all the money up, and and plus he's participating in the Aoki Foundation with me.
Yes, I'm aware. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah.
And besides our own, his and my wife's own charity, we do that also. And
which is fantastic that you do that. Absolutely.
And I'm telling you, there's never any money going in his direction until he finally sold some boxes, right?
Yeah.
Everything was money out, money scrambling to make these things work and to give stuff away. And
because he just wants his dream to come true, so he'll do anything. That's what hopefully anyone would do to follow their dreams, like anything, and whatever it takes, so.
That's why it bothered me so much to hear those terrible comments about MetaPoo and, about Michael's, about Michael's cash grab and a forum I have a lot to do with, E4.
Okay.
I mean, I was touting MetaZoo from the very beginning, and everybody was making fun of me. They were canceling my threads because the mods for MetaZoo on the Discord or something, canceled out a lot of people. They made a lot of mistakes that they shouldn't have done. And
then I guess it went back to Mike being like, oh, he hit the hammer on me or something, like that was one of my concerns when I was trying to pursue the sheet was I was like, oh, I'm just going to get flicked, or like Thanos from Avengers was going to get snapped out of existence because he doesn't want to send me the sheet because I heard of all those horrible things. But I still I loved MetaZoo. I wasn't going to let not getting this prize ruin it for me. You know what I mean?
I loved how you said that in your video. I loved the way you put that. And I know you were totally sincere about it.
It's true.
And it was, and I loved it when you said, see, this is how close attention I paid to you, right? when you said that if he never sends me the sheet, I'm still going to be a fan of MetaZoo.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it when you said that, because that's the spirit. That's the spirit that I feel, and everybody who is into MetaZoo, how we all feel.
Yeah.
It's
I genuinely love MetaZoo, so I'm not gonna, life is too short to be spiteful, so it's like, there are a lot of upset people that are having trouble getting product and stuff like that. And that I think where it's a lot where like the negativity is kind of thriving is people that are just kind of feel like they're missing out. So they're kind of manifesting that as like from jealousy to like anger to hate, and it's kind of just, you got to just let it go, because there's plenty of people that love MetaZoo like me, been here since day one. We'll be here till it ends, if it ever does, we'll be here forever. So I know there'll be more people like me very soon, once this stuff gets into people's hands and stuff like that. I know there's a lot of big things coming. So
yeah, more and more, and it's going to there's no lack of effort on his part and on the way he set up his organization. And I want to say that I have absolutely zero financial interest in MetaZoo or in him or in anything else right now.
I'm a collector myself. I have actually never sold a trading card in my life. I've bought them, I've traded, but I've never sold a card in my life. So when I first got this sheet, I had some people going, oh, you're just going to sell the sheet. You're going to, cash it in, whatever. You're a phony.
And I was just like, who could fault you if you did? I mean, you're talking about life-changing money. Nobody could fault you if you did. But that's the thing they assume, as if that's a negative. You're just going to sell it. You're just going to, cash grab. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
In my past, I've had to sell things back in the 70s. Some of my sports cards I had to sell, but then in time I got them back. I earned the money and I got that stuff back. When you're a collector, sometimes you'll want to trade for something you want more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as a kid, I traded away some of my favorite cards. I had like, Shining Charizard and like crazy cards like that I traded away as a kid. And now as an adult, I can maybe get them back. So like you said, you can always get them back, but.
Right. Yeah, I know that it's such a fun thing to be in the beginning of a journey like this,
That's where probably the best part
of in the beginning of Pokemon.
Yep.
And that was terrific, you
yep.
know, and now being, having it happen again, being in the beginning of MetaZoo,
yep.
I just hope I live enough years longer to really take advantage and enjoy it, because I'm having a blast now. I mean, I love this stuff, and
yeah, me too. I love it so much.
And documenting and I mean, the pictures that I get, from people, with MetaZoo, like the thing with the joint snake and the Mothman.
Yeah. It's the community, the community, the trading card community as a whole, whether you're into Pokemon, MetaZoo, everyone is just all about doing this together. And that's why I love it so much, because, I've had people give me stuff that, I just, here, take this Mothman. I just want you to complete your collection, and I'm like, oh my God, I've never gotten like any kind of kindness that I've like anywhere else than I did since I've kind of made this my Instagram page and joined this community. So that's my favorite part of it. It's just a tight knit group, and it's just growing. It's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The Discord is like exploding with people compared to when I first joined it, and it's just heartwarming to go into a store, like a local trading card store, and see MetaZoo on the shelf. When I was just I was telling people about it like it was like some urban legend not too long ago, and now it's becoming real. So I can't wait to go into like Walmart and see like a Mothman plushie on the checkout lane, and just be like, I can't believe this is in front of me, because I've been here since the beginning. So it'll be really cool to get there.
Let me ask you that question. What would be if you could only produce one plushie, which one would it be?
Oh man, I mean, it would Paiza Bird is my favorite. It is my favorite card creature beastie. Yeah. So it would probably be like a little chibi. I know they're gonna do like a chibi set or something, I heard. So maybe like a chibi Paiza Bird would be my it would be in the background, it would join my rank of plushies.
Yeah, for me, we can't do joint snake because I would have too many pieces.
They could put like a little string in between.
But my favorite right now would probably be Squonk.
Squonk is a great one. Yes, yeah. I would be shocked if they don't manufacture like hundreds of Squonks. Like,
yes, I would too. But
super
that's
cuddly, yeah.
Produce. And what about have you paid much attention to D Brews and his shirts, his offering?
Yes, I'm waiting right now. I pre-ordered one. It's a blind box, I think. So I'm waiting to get mine in the mail. And of course, again, I'm hoping to get the Paiza Bird shirt. But all those designs are so awesome that I think I'll be happy with whichever one I get. Like I don't think not one of them I was like, oh, I don't really want that one. Like of course I want like my favorite card as the t-shirt, but if I get any of them, they're so awesome. He produces such high quality art, and the shirts just look so cool. All the Pokemon ones, I see them, everyone wearing them. I see you wearing them and stuff, and I'm like, I want all of them. Like,
yeah,
he does such a good job.
Do open that live or open that on video.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
so we can see that.
Yeah,
I guess he's also a friend of mine.
Okay,
and a local here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
In fact, I got a big office in his warehouse. I got rented out to Michael for MetaZoo.
Wow.
So they're actually under the same roof now.
Everything is so connected. People don't realize that. It's so cool. It's such a small world. Like
yeah, and yet D Brews is a big time collector. As far as loving, his collections, and there's videos with him and I opening up Kickstarter boxes, from quite a while back.
Yeah, I think I've seen some of yours where you opened some Kickstarter boxes. I don't remember specifically if he was there, but
with him, I think I did two with him, 2 or 3. But he's real super camera shy. When he takes pictures, he's like this. He kind of looks like Sam Sinclair.
Oh, the artwork, right? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it is funny how that's connected. But I just knew that this would be a good connection because Michael needed a space, right? Yeah. Didn't want to just keep using my house, and yet he needed he wanted to have merchandise done. And I had introduced Darian to Steve Aoki, and he did some shirts for Steve.
Okay.
Which Michael saw, so he knew about the quality.
Yeah.
And that, like what you said, absolutely top quality.
So cool, eye catching, and just looks very high quality. Like so cool.
Yeah, and you've probably seen the inside of his warehouse because I had a party there, for influencers, where we opened MetaZoo. And
yep.
See, I tried to push MetaZoo every time I do if I do an interview. I did something with Logan Paul recently inside that warehouse, and I wore a MetaZoo.
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to ask about this.
Yeah, I wore the MetaZoo shirt, because I just wanted to get that out there too.
Yeah.
And just because it's fun for me, it's fun for me to do. And a lot of people think it's because I'm employed. Well, I'm retired. I do conventions.
Yeah.
That's all I do. I also they couldn't probably pay me enough to make it worthwhile to do something I don't want to do. Right.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but that's how that all works out.
How did the influencers respond to MetaZoo? You don't really have to say anybody specifically, but how did they respond? Where
Well, obviously,
positive?
Steve loved it. Steve loved it,
Yeah.
and because he ended up investing and becoming a
Oh yeah,
part
of course. Yeah.
in that. But
He
Steve
has his own card.
he does a lot of collabs and partnerships and stuff he enjoys.
Yeah.
For Logan, we were opening MetaZoo packs that you didn't see on camera,
Mhm.
although it that might show up. He's doing a new video, and where that's going to be included, where I introduced him to Andre Jick, and we were in Debrew's warehouse, and
Wow.
beautiful anime painted walls. And
Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures, I think. Like,
yeah, and so he enjoyed that. He enjoyed that. Plus, I mean, all I'm going to say is, because with Steve, he has a vested interest in MetaZoo. Logan doesn't. So I have to be a little hesitant what I say about Logan.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, but I can tell you this: those packs he opened with me, I know he has boxes of MetaZoo at his house.
Oh,
in Puerto Rico. So
wow,
that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, you could have just said he thought it was cool, so that was great.
Well, Logan's gonna blow up MetaZoo too, and then it doesn't happen, So, but all I'm gonna say is that he enjoys it. He's 26. He's a kid,
Wow, he's younger than me. Wow, I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, he's only
crazy. You never know how old people are.
Right. Yeah, but he, he grew up with Pokemon. He has Pokemon tattoos.
Oh yeah. So same generation, of course, he gets it.
Yeah, I was saying that on an interview yesterday with a Saudi Arabia radio station, and I was explaining to them that this is, I said that of course these guys, love Pokemon. I said they were all kids during the Pokemon era.
It's nostalgia, it's total nostalgia.
It's nostalgia. I said just because you get popular doesn't mean that nostalgia means nothing to you anymore. Of course not.
Of course.
It means everything.
Of course.
And so that's a good point. That's a good point you made. I think it's really, really super important. And I think we're just going to keep seeing it over and over again because Pokemon keeps coming out with sets.
Yep.
Their 25th anniversary. They're popular. I know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are getting popular again.
Really?
And I mean, that's 40 years old or something. And the Power Rangers.
Oh yeah, Power Rangers. I love that. I grew up with that.
I would sit on the bed with my son every Saturday morning and watch Power Rangers.
Yep.
Power Rangers in space.
Yep, and that was my childhood. We're the same age, so I totally understand. I was there too. Like Power Rangers, Pokemon, all that stuff was just.
And buying all those toys, the Power Ranger toys that morphed into other things.
Yeah, the little head like flipped. I had like the little heads like spun. I had all that stuff too.
Right. Yes. So I mean that's what it's all about, and and as long as they keep making sets, these current generations are going to be the doctors and lawyers in 20 years from now, and then they're going to be chasing those dreams and those memories, and it just won't end. And that's what I love about Michael's his devotion to this idea, his devotion and his love for this idea, because it's going to go on and on and on. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And if I say it is the next Pokemon, I'll get 1,000 pieces of hate because nothing ever figures to be that big again. Pokemon was unprecedented.
Yeah.
But for me to say it's the only thing that has a chance.
I was going to say, but it has a chance, because
I believe
just the beginning.
I believe that.
Yeah, I believe it.
I just wish I was a partner.
Well, if you cash in some of those sheets, Mike might bring you on board.
Yes. Did I mention anything where, I don't know if he was being facetious. Did I mention earlier what he might do with the sheet?
Did you say, was it about auctioning it to see the value?
Okay. Now, I don't know if he was being facetious or not.
Yeah.
But he did mention that. He did mention that to me. he said
there's only one way to find out. You know, it's almost like now it's like me, you, and like Steve and Mike are like looking at each other like, who's gonna sell it first? You know, like
right, yeah.
Because we got to know what the value is. You know, I mean, I don't know. You know, I don't plan on selling this. You know, but it's like it would be fascinating to see like, you know, what the numbers would look like if somebody bid on something like this, you know, probably on a grand scale auction site or something. I have no idea. You know, I've had people throw some names at me, some sites to like talk to and stuff like that. But I'm like, I'm not ready to sell it. I've only had it for like 2 months, you know, like,
right.
You know, I want to feel like all that waiting I did was worth it, you know, to like finally hold this in my hands and just be like, I love MetaZoo. I love it even more now. You know, I feel like I'm a part of the history myself now. The little smidge of history was me getting the sheet. So
no question about that. No, and I wouldn't either. Fortunately, I don't need to sell it. So, but I wouldn't. But I absolutely would love to see Michael. Yes. And I think he mentioned maybe Sotheby's. And so, I mean, it would be a serious, you know, auction thing. Now, he might have been pulling my leg.
Yeah,
you know,
sure. I mean, nothing's absolute until it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But I would really love to see it.
Yeah, me too. Grab some popcorn.
You never want to be the first one to sell something.
No way. Because then exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like
it could go for $1,000, like your one friend said.
Yes.
Or it could go for $1 million, like your other friend said.
And then there you go. Like
you don't want to be the first one.
No way.
So I'd love to see Michael put his up, and then we would have a blast. You know what? Maybe we could find some way to all get together and have a party.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I'd love that.
Steve and Michael in the same room.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. All the owners of the sheets together in one place. Like
and we could bring them and compare them. And,
and that'd be awesome. Absolutely.
It would be. Yeah.
But,
well, I guess we pretty much covered all the stuff, huh?
Yeah, I wrote some cliff notes to ask you a couple things, and you went above and beyond. You know, your absolute pleasure to talk to.
Thank you.
This conversation just felt very organic. You know, you gave me some really interesting information, and I'm not sure if you let anything out of the bag in this video, but I'm sure some people are going to really like watching this when I put it all together. But I really appreciate you taking the time.
The one good thing about not being employed is that you can't get fired. So
there you go. So
if I said anything I shouldn't have, that's okay.
Well, I tried to be as vague as I possibly could.
Michael's going to have fun watching this. I know that.
But all right. Well, yeah, again, thank you so much for taking the time to have this conversation with me. I appreciate that you watched my video and you reached out to me. You know, that shocked me alone. I was out shopping and you're like, hey, Andrew, I want to talk about the sheet with you and stuff. I was like, wow. Like, you know, it was kind of real. It was really cool to have this chat with you because I don't really do interviews. I don't really talk to any high influencers. So it was really, really cool that you did this for me. So I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, this was fun. And I really, really wanted to. I was excited all day about this. And,
yeah, me too.
so I'm glad we did. And I think maybe we should follow up in 6 months or so.
Yeah.
You know, with a follow-up about all the stuff we talked about today.
And see if it's changed.
see how we did. Yeah.
Absolutely. See how we did. Yeah, right. Definitely. I will hold you to that, actually. Now I have your permission, you said earlier, to harass you. So I will.
Anything you want, Andrew. Absolutely.
Awesome. I really appreciate that, man. So, all right. Yeah, I think we touched everything. So I guess I'll be in touch. So
wonderful. Talk soon.
Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Well, there you have it. I still cannot believe there were 2 sample sheets on the screen at the same time. Like, isn't that insane? Thank you so much, Gary, again, for setting up this call and reaching out to me. It was an absolute pleasure talking to a fellow collector that is just as passionate about this hobby as I am, just as passionate about MetaZoo as I am. I really hope our positivity kind of resonates with the rest of you guys, because I know there's a little bit of negativity going on, you know, about getting MetaZoo and if MetaZoo is a cash grab and all these horror stories and stuff. But you know, I think MetaZoo is a passion project. It was created with love, and I hope that we can just continue to enjoy it while it's growing, because it's just the beginning right now. You know, 2022 is going to be a big year for MetaZoo. I already know it. So if you're just getting into it now, don't fear, because we're just getting started. Things are just getting started up here. So the sky is the limit. That's all I can say for MetaZoo, right? So if you really enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and please leave a comment below on your favorite moment of the video. Mine was absolutely when we both kind of clinged our sheets through the screens. That was so cool. And I'll see you next time for another MetaZooDrew video. So see ya.